let's go on now. I see already Thomas and Ming ready. First of all, for the next lot of presentation. First of all, they will provide a joint presentation. Now, Thomas Festi is the project manager of the Smart City project at the municipality of Trento. His project, is contributing not only to this Marvel project as a project manager, but also to other European projects with a similar focus, like the Protector project, in which also FBK is participating. Yiming Wang is a researcher at Fondazione Bruno Kessler. She's part of the Deep Visual Learning Unit in the Digital Society Center. Her research mainly focused on vision-based scene understanding. She is one of the main contributor of the anonymization, the video anonymization. So let's have them presenting what we are doing in the Trento pilot, thanks to Thomas and Yiming. Please, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Elisabetta. I'm Thomas Festi from the Smart City Office of the Municipality of Trento. And good morning, and thank you all for your presence. I'm going to present the use case involving the Marvel framework, which concerns the municipality of Trento. The Marvel framework will help end user to evaluate possible dangerous situations such as gatherings, robberies, aggression, fights, drug dealing, and so on, and to decide how to manage it. And so call the medical aid or the law enforcement, and having in real time the elements to better understand what is happening. On the other hand, objective data will allow political decision makers to make informed decisions based on the facts and not on sensation perceived by the population. The data collected by the project will be enriched with the data that the municipality of Trento already collects and analyzes within its digital hub that Giacomo talked about this before. The use case consists in monitoring some public spaces in order to identify anomalous events or possible situation also a posteriori, create a notification system for the local police, and also do some analysis, as we say. The first use case is the monitoring of crowded areas. And the goal is to select views or relevant areas for reasons such as exceptional crowd, suspect, or unusual crowd movement, and so on. The areas for this scenario is Piazza Fiera, a square hosting the Christmas market in Trento every year, from November to the first days of January, which are visited by thousands of people during the opening period. Particularly during the weekend and holidays, these areas are highly crowded. Due to this situation, the number of robberies and aggression can increase. In addition, first aid may be needed for people who are unwell or faint. In order to be informed of this action in time, thanks to the cameras already installed in the square, the Marvel framework will be adopted to prevent them. The alert will be sent to the local police operational center. Another place is Piazza Duomo, where the weekly market is located. This is also a scenario where crowding can occur. Therefore, closer monitoring is necessary. This situation can be more challenging due to the presence of the market operators holding. Marvel framework will be deployed to prevent this situation by alerting the operational center of the local police and consequently the policeman or woman on site or near the market. The visual analysis must be carried out in real time and on recording data saved in the server of the local police. The second one is the use case is the detecting criminal and antisocial behavior. The goal is to monitor in Piazza Santa Maria Maggiore to detect criminal or antisocial behavior. The system would trigger an alarm or a custom view in the control room of the local police. Marvel framework will be deployed to detect possible dangerous situations such as gatherings, robberies, aggression, drugs trafficking, and so on. Also, for this use case, the audio and visual analysis must be carried out in real time and on recording data saved in the server of the local police. The third use case is the monitoring of parking places. The target of this use case is the ex-Zuffo parking area that is one of the largest parking areas in Trento. And to prevent robberies, damages to the cars parked, Marvel Framework will support prevention activities with the audio-visual analysis of the existing cameras and the microphones that can be installed thanks to the Marvel project. Anomalous behaviors will be examined such as, for example, the correct use of the parking spaces or service for the taxis, the occupation of spaces or service for the disabled people, the number of the parked campus, the time to stay, the average parking time of vehicles, and so on. Also here, the audio and visual analysis must be carried out in real time and on recording data saved in the service of the local police. The last one is the analysis of a specific area. The municipality of Trento wants to monitor the city main place to support the administration decision making. In order to do this, the Marvel framework can help with the counting of persons, cars, buses, taxis, bikes, and calculate their trajectories and any notable event during a specific time frame or the entire day. From a technical point of view, the goal of this use case is the collection and the following analysis of the data, number of persons, cars, trajectories, and so on. We have identified the area in front of the train station, comprising the road and part of the Piazza Dante. This scenario will be integrated into the project for the creation of the smart city control room that is shown before by Giacomo. And the smart city control room is launched in the municipality of Trento and it is an initiative designed to prepare and collect the data necessary for the creation and monitoring of the urban plan for the sustainable mobility and sustainable energy action plan for the energy transition. Here, the audio-video analysis must be carried out in real time and on recording data saved in the server of the local police. Now, in this image, describe the infrastructure, hardware, and software implemented in municipality of Trento use case. The infrastructure relies on computational and storage device located at the FBK premises. This requires the implementation of a secure connection that allows the selected server in the FBK data center to grab the data, feed from the audio and visual sensor connected to the municipality of Trento local area network. The images show how the infrastructure are with the edge tire, and so cameras, microphones, Raspberry Pi, and so on. POG tire, and so FBK server and local police server. And cloud tire with high performance computing server for data elaboration. We collect two types of data sets. The first one is the Trento outdoor area recording. and is based on the real-life recording data acquired by the surveillance cameras currently mounted in the four sites of the use cases, by the microphone that will be mounted nearby some cameras, and recording will be pre-processed to meet the requirements of the municipality of Trento DPO, and so it will be anonymizing person faces and removing or anonymizing speech context. The video feed can be captured at the highest resolution and frame rates provided by the cameras. However, a limitation may apply in particular to the frame rate to avoid the overloading the network, which is currently operational and used by the local police. The second data set is the Trento outdoor stage recording. Municipality of Trento and FBK will record target events staged by enrolled participants for the two institutions to complement real data, in particular for what concern rare events, and tackle the limitations to the privacy. Stage recording will simulate the target event and scenario of the use case, the second use case, the detection of criminal and antisocial behaviors, and the third use case, the monitoring of parking place. The data availability, Trento Door real data. For each use case, we provide direct access to our surveillance network to FBK, and FBK provided the anonymized video to the consortium through the Marvel platform. Instead, for the Trento outdoor stage recording, they are necessary to simulate rare events that are otherwise difficult to pick up in real life, and suitable for all the trial use cases planned, and so for the second and the third. The use of public data set to improve the algorithm, and so existing crowd data set for pre-training models, we can then be fine-tuned with the acquired data set under Marvel. And then, last but not least, the annotation will be registered through metadata in the recording. The data is delivered as an unstructured raw video and data, and includes PDF documents for description and annotation to be used to train and develop evaluate the artificial intelligence algorithm. Implementation of security measures to prevent unauthorized access to the personal data, and so Municipality of Trento will be compliant with the DPO instruction. We collect informed consent for all the participants at the stage recording, and FBK is as a data processor, we implement the standard security measures. For my part, that's all. If you have any question, you are welcome. I now leave the floor to Himing Wang for a more technical look at the use cases and the stage recording made, thanks to the collaboration between our two institutions.
So Thomas already gave an overview of the Trento use cases and also the dataset information. Now I will briefly lead you through what we have achieved so far with inside FBK and Community Trento. So in month 8, throughout the project, in month 8, we identified finally the cameras to use inside each use case. And then we also released the first round of sample videos to the consortium. However, it is in low resolution and low frame rate using the existing storage facility. And then in the meanwhile, we were trying to get direct access to the cameras thanks to the agreement between FBK and MT. With some effort, we managed to get the direct access to the camera, in the sense that we can then finally achieve high resolution and high frame rate of the videos. Later, I will also show some samples of these videos, so you will have a better sense. And then in the while we're attempting for collecting the pilot data, we also did some planning for the stage recording. So the stage recording is mainly with the purpose to augment the data set for some anonymous event which occur quite rarely in the real data. And then in the month 12, as you know, in Trento, there is also a famous Christmas market usually happening in this phase. So in order to not miss this opportunity, we also acquired a few days pilot data capturing the event with crowded environment. And then recently, we also performed the final stage recording in car park Zufo. And then now it is in the progress of the data annotation. For the pilot site, for the first use case of monitoring the crowded area, we chose two piazza, as you already know by the slides of Thomas. Piazza Fiera is on the first row, where we selected 3 cameras here, and in Piazza Duomo, in the second row, we have also 3 cameras. As you can see, the cameras are in general installed in a quite high location. So in this case, Mike's installation is not very feasible. And for all the cameras, we have the same model, which is BIP2. We can achieve around 12 frames per second as a frame rate, and the resolution is 600 by 1200. For the second use case, it's about detecting the criminal and antisocial behaviors. In this case, we chose Santa Maria Maggiore, and as you can see here in the first figure, we have some dark square, which often you see some naughty behaviors happening over there, like drug dealing. So that's the main motivation we chose this site. And in this case, Mike's installation is possible. The camera is of the same model. And then we have in the third use case, we chose 2 cameras in car park Zufo. And also in this case, Mike's installation is available. Also in this site, we performed the stage recording using the first camera in the left. And the camera model of this one is it's an older version, so the frame rate is a little bit compromised, only 2 frames per second, but the resolution of the image is still the same. The last use case analyzed of the specific area, we chose Piazza Dente, which is close to the train station. And in this case, we chose 4 cameras to cover the station area and also the main square. And in this case, Mike's installation is possible, and the camera model is of a mixed modality. So it's we will have cameras with high resolution and also one, unfortunately, with lower resolution. And after that, I want to also introduce the more detailed planning we did for the stage recording. So as I mentioned before, the main goal is to complement the anonymous events that really occurs in real world. And in this case, we decided to do it for Car Park Zufo and San Maggiore. For each site, we have 4 main events categories, and to acquire sufficient data, we also try to have each event occur 10 times. So with the video clip not longer than 1 minute. And for this stage recording, the participants, we have all the MT and FEK personnel involved in Marvel. Apart from that, we also ask for volunteers with a signed consent form provided by MT. And in this data set, we also try to introduce as much as possible the variance in the subjects participating in the recording in terms of their dressing, the body height, age, skin colors, and also the things they carry in order to make the videos vary and represent the real world scenario. And also for some particular behavior, we also try to consult the local police, in particular for drug dealing, in terms of to also reflect the real world case. And for the stage recording we already finished for the Capac Zufo, and in March we will try to manage the one in Maggiore. Since it's a public site in the city center, it requires a bit more time for the area control. Okay, and before we did the stage recording, we did a site trial in order to understand where is the camera, where is the mic, as you can see, where we can install the mics, and also where is the area that we can do the performance. And here I show you some sample videos we collected for each event category. So the first one is car stealing. And our colleague is slowly approaching the car. Really professional acting. And we also have the audio to sound the alarm. So this could be used for audio-video analysis. The next one is fight. And we try to mimic a scenario where one car hit the other one when they open the door and they start fighting. In Italian, of course. And then we also have loud noise, which we use some firecrackers to mimic the gunshot. And where you can see, first we hear gunshot, and then people start running away. The last one is bad parking, where we see a car arriving to the parking lot and occupying 2 spaces. Okay, and then apart from stage recording, as I mentioned, recently we collected the Christmas market data. We also performed anonymization. In this first release. We did face detection and then just blurred their face. And soon we will release all this data to the Marvel Cloud data corpus. And for the future plan, now we are also preparing the tender together with MT for the installation of the mics and release anonymized pilot data for the Christmas market. And then after the mics being installed, we can then also do the stage recording in the Maggiore Square for the antisocial behaviors. And in the meantime, collecting audio-video data and performing anonymization and aiming to release the anonymized audio-video data in month 17. And then in month 18, we will finalize the alignment with the Marvel experimental protocol. And that's all from my side.